Rabbi said we're going to have the honor, Rabbi Tzion himself, who's usually hidden on the other side of the camera. He feels he wants to share a heartwarming message that came to him. You know, he told me actually he has relatives or friends.
Hello,
He has
hello.
relatives and friends that are out there in the war, and he feels for them, and we all feel for them. And he wants to share a message. Rabbi Tzion.
As we heard the news, the beginning of Simchas Torah of what's going on, I mean, we try not to dampen our celebration and our rejoicing, but after the celebration was finished, we heard the news, and it really was shocking. I mean, there really no words. Completely and utterly shocking. And it's very interesting by Shkacha Pratis that a Dvar Torah that I was kind of thinking about, like a certain thought, seemed actually really much connected to this murderous assassinations and complete savage attack on innocent people, Jewish people in Eretz Israel, in Israel. I was reading a beautiful, beautiful thought of the Rebbe regarding the idea of why the Sefer Torah is covered. So one of the ideas that was brought over there in that Hasidic talk was how the idea, or one of the symbolisms of the idea that we're dancing with the Sefer Torah being covered, even though the Torah is a very brilliant, intellectual, I mean, beyond masterpiece, treasure. Why are we dancing with it covered? Why not read and learn? Why in such a way? Is because the fact that it's covered is a symbol for that no matter how much you learn, or whoever is, the simple person or the most brilliant of the Talmidei Chachamim, whoever learns the Torah, no matter how much they accomplish in their learning, it's still a little drop, and the Torah still is covered, so to speak, from them. There's so much more. There's so many more layers and so much more to it.
Rabbi Yitzchak ben Zitcher said that's why the Torah begins with a base. You're always only going to reach the base. You're never going to reach the Aleph.
There we go. So I was thinking that kind of relates to a different idea. There's two different themes by the Young Tim that I kind of was picking up on, and kind of like it became more clear to me, like these two different paths. With Elul and Tishrei, and that you have the paths of getting closer to the Eibishter, of course, and crowning him as your king and doing tshuva, but also, in addition to that, there's the kav of connecting with other people. Before Rosh Hashanah, you have Parshas Nitzavim, you're connecting, you're uniting with people. Before Yom Kippur, Aseret Tshuva, you have this idea of reconciling. Yom Kippur is only atoning for sins between you and the Eibishter, but between you and another individual, it doesn't do anything. You have to say sorry, and you have to really mean it. And then you have Sukkot, which we have the four different types of the Jewish people coming together, the four minim, with the mitzvah of the Dalad minim, and also sitting in the sukkah together, again, after together. And it came to me that Simchas Torah, like how is the importance of a person, people, Avas Yisrael, and that connection between people, how is that manifest over here? I mean, we're dancing together, we're celebrating together, but I was thinking the idea of covering, that the Sefer Torah is covered, is also connected in an interesting way. That every Jew is a Lebedik Sefer Torah. And just like the Torah, no matter how much you learn, remains covered, meaning to say that there's so much more to it that you'll never know, and depths to it that you'll never fathom, because it's infinite, so to another Jew, no matter how much you know them or you think that you know them, they have so much more than you know. But every soul is a treasure, and sometimes you don't see it. It's covered. There's stones like Eretz Chafetz, the famous mashal of the Baal Shem Tov, how every Jew is a treasure. You have to dig. But no matter how much treasure you even do find, even that little bit is just a little bit of so much more. And that's, I think it's double-sided, meaning to say it's for other people and also for ourselves. We might see something within ourselves, but there's so much more within us that we don't even see. It's endless. We're also infinite. There's a very beautiful thing that kind of connects to it also, that I wanted to connect also to the murders that happened, that I heard by Gimel Tammuz Farbrengen with Rabbi Chaim Shalom Daish from Yerushalayim, that he mentioned this very famous story with the name of Simcha Bunim from Pashizcha, famous rabbi, regarding the famous story of the individual who had these dreams. He had this dream of treasure by the bridge in Prague, and he was having this recurring dream again and again and again. And he decided, it's driving me crazy, let me just go over there. And he went over there, but by the bridge there was somebody that was watching the bridge, a soldier. And he's like watching again and again and again. Every day he's coming. What's this Meshuggah doing over here? So he came over to him and he asked, what are you doing over here? And he said, I heard this dream. There's a treasure by this bridge. And he started laughing. And he says, if I believe my dreams that I have like this dream of this, Chaim Yankel, let's call him, living by a certain city, and the treasure is in his backyard by a tree. So that was his name in his city. He's like, wait a second, this is me he's talking about. He traveled all the way home. He discovered that the treasure is back home by him. He didn't have to travel all the way, but he did travel all the way to find the treasure is really there. So he says, the Rebbe from Pashizcha, he said that why does a person go to a Rebbe? Why does a person go to a Rebbe? They don't go to the Rebbe because of their greatness. Wow, it's so great, you're so great. You're going, or maybe you are going because the Rebbe is so great. But when you go there, what do you find? You find that the Rebbe finds within you greatness you didn't even know about yourself. Because the Rebbe has different eyes than we see. We see something, but the Rebbe sees so much more, and that treasure that we have, that we don't even realize what we can do, what's possible for us to do, a Rebbe can actually see so much more. So that idea, I think, connects, because basically when you have murders like this that are happening, it's because people are dehumanized. Why would somebody kill somebody else? Why would people massacre other people? Because it's like they're nothing to them. Like they don't have any chashivas. They're like nothing, or worse. So I was thinking how to personalize it also. How do we look at other people? Do we dehumanize them? Do we also not take them for granted? How we look at them could elicit, more good, or could elicit more bad. Other people and also ourselves. Are we, so to speak, killing other people by putting them down in how we look at them? Or are we putting ourselves down and killing our potential by underestimating ourselves as well? So that's a question. And maybe this could be an idea that we should have a more Rebbish approach of how to look at people and ourselves to see more of the treasure instead of less of the treasure. And there's just to finish off, there's an amazing story that I heard from Rabbi Shavsai Slavatitsky about a certain Maisa Shehaya. There's a very big veer that he had diamonds. That was his business, was diamonds. They were excavating and they're digging and they're finding all these. The way that they work is that they find like these tunnels, so to speak, and there's a certain opening for the tunnel, and in that cave there's a lot of diamonds all over. And he bought like this whole big shatach that's supposed to be a diamond
catch.
Thank you. And he spent millions and millions of dollars for several years excavating and digging and spending so much time and money, and he didn't find. And he decided to give up. And he gave it over. He sold it to a bigger company specializing in diamonds. And the first thing that they did, like he built like this certain office, headquarters, or whatever is by the shatach, this area, he had them demolish that whole office. And they started digging right there where that office was. And lo and behold,
they found it there.
They found the beginning of that tunnel with a lot of diamonds, like a huge cave full of diamonds. And the guy that sold it, he was like completely shocked. He was sitting on a diamond mine that was so big, and the whole time. So one of the takeaways, so to speak, that we can maybe take from this murderous occasion on a very happy time of simchas torah is that we should basically choose to look at each other as treasures, like a Sefer Torah. Every Yid is a Sefer Torah. To really value another Yid, also value ourselves, and realize that there's so much treasure that has yet to be excavated, and for sure there is a treasure in each and every one of us. And we should only hear good news.
Amen.
And should have an amazing, wonderful year for all Jews, everyone, for the whole world.
Amen.
For that matter. Mashiach should come mamash now.
Amen.